Good afternoon, everybody. This is Michael Filigera. I am with logicalsignals.com and also tradershelpingtraders.com. And this is the Elliott Wave update for the NASDAQ 100 for Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021. Not a whole lot happening in the markets today. They were very much more tradable than they've been several times during the past week, but not a whole lot to be adding to our current analysis. So I've opened up the hourly chart here, and the first set of extensions that I have up would indicate that we are going to continue to roll over and drop. And that still could be the case. But I wanted to put this one up first because I wanted to show that the size of this wave and this wave, if indeed this is a continuation of wave 4, really puts it into a difficult spot because of the nature and the size of the previous ABC structures. So that kind of puts things into a little bit different light. And this is making it more difficult to kind of figure what are we doing. But what does still fit is the possibility that this wave 4 is going to come over here and that this ended up being the finishing point of the C wave and it ended in a failure. We'll go over that in just a moment. So the alternate is where I want to start. If indeed this market rolls over, which it seems to do, it did it again today. We get up early in the morning, we get up to 13,713 and just die. Drop 100 points, actually a little bit more than 100 points, 110, and then just spend the rest of the day rallying to get it all back. So, you know, the market's still in this indecisive, we don't know, period. Should we be buying it? Should we be pushing it? Should we be dumping? So they're doing both. And we have not seen the market tell us beyond what we're doing each day, what really the intent may be. So let's look at both scenarios. If the market continues to roll over, in other words, it kind of gets back up here, maybe even a little higher and then just rolls over. It could be a continuation of this whole move versus a continuation of this larger one that we're looking at. And if indeed this is going to be a larger C wave, here are the levels. And so this would be wave 3 of C that would be beginning, right? So this would be wave 1, ABC, this would be wave 2, and then we'll be dropping. It should be 1 of 3, 2 of 3, which should not and cannot go below 13,712. Now, so that kind of sets up a trade if you're trading, in that if you think this market's going to roll over, it shouldn't pass that level. If it passes that level, then it is likely that this is the completion point of this C wave, of this minute wave 4. So since I don't think these levels are going to be met unless it stops right there, flips, and starts to hightail it lower. That would be the point. It's a third of a third. And it has to just fly lower. It can't just sit up here and take its time. It's got to start and it's got to keep going, and it just marches its way lower. First stop, 13,533. More likely stop right down here. And that puts a whole nother spin on what this whole thing is. Okay, that's the alternate. That would be downside. Can't break above there and then just swing and start to move lower. It could break above there, but then it's not going to be this large, that C wave that we're talking about. I mean, it could break above and still come back and turn lower, but it's not going to be the C wave that we're looking at. So right now, this, what I'm describing, needs to hold there, cannot go above it. Going above it negates it, and then we look at something different. Okay, so now I am going to present what I am basically using as my primary degree, or not my primary degree, but my first up, my preferred count. And I've got to take this back to the hourly chart, put up my next set of fibs. So because now we want to see if indeed this completed the wave 4, then we're looking at a wave 5 beginning and taking us up. This would be the absolute beginning of it. Okay, so how do we want to measure that? Well, we need to then start to look at, we're going to have to go there and then there. So if I go, wave 5 is going to be related to wave 3. That's what we're going to start with. So I'm going to start here. Whoop. Come on. Yep. We're going to put this next Fibonacci extensions in. There we go. We're going to go up to the top of wave 3. There we go. And now we're going to go down to the bottom. Oh, this would be the bottom. So a little bit different, but we got to take it because that would be the end point, not this other low that we had at 92. And we can clean that up in a second, but I'm just going to, I can refine those points so that it would refine our numbers. But right now, we're just going to take a peek. That's what we'd be looking at. Okay. Wave 5. Wave 5 would, the most common relationship between wave 5 and wave 3 is that wave 5 comes in at 0.618 of wave 3. That's right here, 14,082.43. Boom. That's possible, and it could complete it. Even more realistic, because it does create a new high above 14,064. That's the previous. And we've already been talking that this is a weaker advance than we've seen in a long time within this market. So, and it's having a hell of a time to get itself going for the last week. So this could be the move. These other levels continue to hold validity. So we run the potential of a move where the 5th wave would be equal to the 3rd wave. Now here's the gig. Wave 3 is normally the longest. Not always though, it just cannot be the shortest wave out of waves 1, 3, and 5. So that you need to bear in mind when you're trying to pinpoint possible Fibonacci relationships and other wave relationships on where they could end up. So wave 5 could take us up to 14,381. Now let's just keep taking a peek. 1.236 takes us up to 14,565. So you can see that if this thing can gain momentum, and if it can find the steam or find the input, the impetus to push it, yes, this is the levels it could go to. And that's going to be based on wave 4 being complete right there. So our upside is vastly open and free at the moment. So once it gets going, that is going to be the point where we're really, on your short-term chart, you need to pay attention closely to your moving averages, because your moving averages are going to guide you through the rallies. Because once we get above 14,064, which is going to take us a little while, but we could climb up this in a heartbeat. But once we get above that, you're into uncharted territory. So your moving averages are going to continue to tell you the buyers are coming, the buyers are staying in, the buyers are here, and you're going to be able to play it without getting caught up on, gee, I'm at 14,080. What do I do? You know, and if everything's still lined up, then you know you're likely going to break that Fibonacci level and you're going to go up, or you're going to break through and you're going to head even higher. So points that would be taken care of in a trade room, folks, and that's where a lot of the teaching is going to be. But just so that you all know, I'm also offering coaching now, and these are things that would be done on a one-to-one coaching level, being able to really go over the fine-tuning of a Fibonacci and how that works in conjunction with the day-to-day trading, and then what you combine that with. That's all would be a part of that. More on that coming as well. In any case, tomorrow, I think that what we really need to see is we need to see this market begin to light up and get itself going. And that's what I'm talking about here. We're getting close again. So that's what I would want to see, and at least get up to this 0.236 level. And that's nothing. That's like a bare bones absolute minimum for the first wave. Get itself above 13,700, we're at yesterday, 73, and at least by 10 bucks before you start to do a little pullback. We're in wave one, if indeed this is what it's going to end up being. It doesn't halt itself here, turn around and puke all the way back down. Okay, these are the moves that we expect to see. That's when you're going to start to look at your moving averages. That's when you're going to put it all together and you're going to make money. Don't fight these things. So stay in tune with what the market is telling you. That's upside, that's downside. Let's call it a day. And I'm going to wish everybody a very good trading day tomorrow. And that will be the next update, will be tomorrow, Thursday, June 3rd.